Marco Rubio sat for a hearing in front of the Senate and was grilled. I'll show you some highlights from that. Heavily on the topic of Venezuela. He has been tasked with running, quote unquote, the operation there. Obviously, we invaded Venezuela. We took the president. He's being prosecuted. And then Trump saying we're running Venezuela with the force of our military. Trump then brings a bunch of oil executives and is like, woo, you're going to make so much money. And that's what Marco Rubio had to answer for. And it's always weird when Trump, there's almost something that matches better when Trump talks about the insanity of his policies, because how he talks about it is disorienting and confusing and insane and deranged. So then you're kind of like, yeah, the policy matches what I'm hearing coming out of the mouth. It's weird whenever you have someone who tries to explain the policy in like a calm, old-fashioned politician way. It gets weird aesthetically. So let's start with this clip of a heckler.
Statement, but I'm not going to use it. I'm just going to talk to you guys for a few minutes. And
Marco Rubio,
all right, here we go. Suspend. You know the drill. Off to jail.
That's a war crime.
That's a one-year ban from the committee. Anyone who is a persistent violator will be banned for 3 years. So don't know whether the guy falls in that category. Looks like it. I hope after 3 years he'll find a more productive means of employment. Secretary Rubio, we have 2 hearings a week. You seem to have a more robust following than most of our witnesses that come before us. But anyway,
I cover politics, as my job, and have done numerous hearings. And one of the most stunning phenomena that you experience as a political commentator is when you know there are only 100 senators and you do a story and realize you've never heard of one of them. Look at this. This is not a person. Who are you? Mr. Rich? Who is that? The chairman? How do I not know a chairman? How long have I been doing this? You've learned there's like people that they just made. And they just went, oh, shoot, we lost. Is Republican Senator John Kennedy out today? It's okay. Let's just replace him with another generic white dude. Is the 3D printer working? Go ahead and make a Mr. Rich. He can do the chairman today. Don't try to lie that that's a real person. Okay, then we get to this moment. While you watch it, if you appreciate what I do, what Jane does, what Cole does, what Kayla does, what everyone does, a part of this amazing operation, you can click the subscribe button. It's completely free.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, Ranking Member, and thank you, Secretary Rubio, for being here. I'm going to get right into it because I want to build on Senator Van Hollen's line of questioning. President Trump pardoned the former Honduran president after he was convicted of trafficking roughly 400 tons of cocaine into the United States. Cocaine that contributed to the deaths of tens of thousands of Americans year after year. Yet the president and his cabinet authorized a military operation to capture Nicolas Maduro in order to arrest him for virtually the same crime. So, yes or no, because I have a bunch of questions here. To the best of your knowledge, was Hernandez convicted of trafficking approximately 400 tons of cocaine into the United States?
I'm not involved in the pardon process. I can tell you.
No, I'm just asking if he...
Yeah, but I don't do yes or no. I don't play games. This is not a game show.
Do you know okay, so I'm just going to tell you
So I can answer your question because I know what you're getting at, but go ahead.
He was convicted. I know.
The president felt that he was unfairly treated. I can't give you much insight because I'm not involved in the pardon process.
Would you not concede? Can you not understand how the American people and how the world are clearly going to be frustrated by the hypocrisy of this when one man is convicted and pardoned and another man captured, and how it undermines the United States' credibility on the world stage?
But the difference is that, again, I can't opine on the specifics of his case because I wasn't involved in the pardon, but he was not a sitting office holder. He was not even the president of Honduras when that decision was made, either to convict him. The difference between him and Nicolas Maduro is he was actively engaged in narco trafficking. It was an ongoing endeavor.
I think it does.
Wait, what? So that explanation demonstrates for you that even Marco Rubio doesn't exactly know how to defend that. Trump pardons this major drug trafficker, former Honduran president, in like the same breath as saying we care so much about drug trafficking, even if we're going to lie to you about where the major sources are and that not comporting with this policy. We care so much about it that we're going to break the law, extrajudicial killings, all this different stuff, invade a country, take Maduro, and then say that we're tasked now with deciding what happens next, and also we're going to get the oil. You can't say you care so much when you pardon the other guy. And Rubio's response is, well, the other guy was not the president whenever he was pardoned. What the hell does that even mean? What? Look, okay, cool. So then what? Maduro's not the president now. I mean, he probably still calls himself that, but he's somewhere. Where is he, by the way? He's just like, where is that dude? Somewhere. He is somewhere, literally. And I know that on good authority. My sources tell me. But he's not running the country. So then now does the same logic apply that you don't have to, by your standard, prosecute him, like how you said, because of the former Honduran president? Then you have Rubio trying to deny that Trump gave advance warning to oil executives that they were going to be taking over Venezuela. And I'll show you the clip after you see Rubio deny this.
Now, President Trump has said publicly that he had communications with folks from the oil industry about going into Venezuela before anyone here in Congress was notified. Mr. Secretary, simple yes or no question. Were you with President Trump during any of those conversations he had with people with oil interests in Venezuela about the possibility of deposing Maduro?
That's not a simple yes or no question, but I can answer it quickly, and that is the president always elicits opinions from all sorts of people, including, for example, Chevron has an active license in Venezuela. They operate in Venezuela. They've been doing so even when the sanctions were in place. So of course you would ask Chevron, what is your opinion of Delcy Rodriguez? What are your opinion of their economy and of their prospect? But the notion that somehow the president authorized this challenge at the urging of oil executives is absurd. That never happened.
Mr. Secretary, I'm asking whether you were with the president.
That never happened. I couldn't be with him because it never happened. The oil executives were not involved whatsoever in any of the planning on this matter. None.
Did the president, as he said publicly, inform them about the U.S. operations?
I think all of those executives learned about this operation the same time everybody else did.
Well, President Trump has said the opposite in public.
No.
Yes, he has. I mean, he said it. I think it was aboard Air Force One on an airplane. It's on public record. You can take a look. Look, Paul.
That's crazy to deny that. Okay, so no. He didn't give. No. They found out when everyone else found out. Really?
Did you speak with them before the operation took place?
Yes. Did you speak to them? Did you speak to the oil executives before the operation took place? Yes.
Yes. Did you maybe tip them off at all?
Before and after. And they want to go in, and they're going to do a great job for the people of Venezuela.
Before and after. So did Marco Rubio perjure himself there? Rubio water. I saw he kept sipping water, which is good because we would not want his mouth to get too dry, as very famously happened in the past. And I don't have the clip, so he was like this. That was it. If you haven't seen the clip, I'll just summarize for you. Then a Republican senator, who I do know, Rand Paul, did this line of questioning.
So I would ask you, if a foreign country bombed our air defense missiles, captured and removed our president, and blockaded our country, would that be considered an act of war?
Well, I think your question is about and I will acknowledge you've been very consistent on all these points the entire career. So let me. No matter who's in charge. So I will point to two things. The first is it's hard for us to conceive that an operation that lasted about 4.5 hours and was a law enforcement operation to capture someone we don't recognize as a head of state, indicted in the United States, wanted with a $50 million bounty.
My question would be, if it only took 4 hours to take our president, it's very short, nobody dies on the other side, nobody dies on our side, it's perfect. Would it be an act of war?
We just don't believe that this operation comes anywhere close to the constitutional definition of war.
But would it be an act of war?
Military strikes and a SEAL team extracting a president? A terrible president, an illegitimate president, yes. But that doesn't fall under the definition of war. The reason they're saying that is they're trying to justify not coordinating with Congress on this or getting permission. I found the clip, everybody. Everybody stand by.
On foreign policy, America continues to be indispensable to the goal of global liberty, property, and safeguarding human rights. The world is a better place when America is the strongest nation on earth. But we can't remain powerful if we don't have an economy that can afford it. In the short time that I've been here in Washington, nothing has frustrated me more than false choices like the one the president laid out tonight. The choice isn't just between big government or big business.
So I was glad to see at this hearing that he was staying hydrated, because we would not want that. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
For being here. I'm going to get right into it because I want...
He stays so hydrated now. Ever since that, my favorite part of that clip is when he says something about global hola.
Indispensable to the goal of global liberty.
To the goal of global liberty. So that's good, but not a great hearing for Marco.